What's up, guys? Evil Spock from Evil Zig here, playing some Magic the Gathering Arena. Used to play Magic quite a bit with some friends, kind of fell out of touch with them. Life goes on, stopped playing as much Magic. Me and my wife play a little bit of Magic here and there. We still have a whole bunch of, like, we got crazy for some reason and bought like a box of 2019, and it just sat around forever, and then we started playing Pack Attack with it, which is super fun, by the way. You guys should definitely look into Pack Attack if you're paper Magic players as well. Pack Attack's pretty fun though. Very RNG, right? Random. It's very, not RNG because random number generation, but very random. So it's just, there's still strategy, I guess, because you have to play with what you got. And I'll be honest with you, my wife beats me most of the time. She usually beats me. I don't know if it's just luck or she's just a better Magic player than me. She might just be a better Magic player than me. But she doesn't play Arena or anything like that. She just plays games. The only thing she plays is Stardew Valley. So shout out to all the Stardew Valley fans out there. My wife is right there with you. She loves that damn game. But yeah, getting back into some Magic the Gathering Arena. So when I first started playing, I made a White Weenie deck because that's what I really like playing back when I play, like when I would actually deck build, and me and my friends would, like, we played in like a closed circuit kinda. We didn't look up internet decks and stuff, so that's why I think I loved Magic so much. Of course, the internet decks and stuff, that's what's mostly on here. On Magic the Gathering Arena, you're gonna be fighting a lot of people that's playing internet decks because they want to win, because that's what the system's set up to do. You have to get daily wins to be able to get rewards, so a lot of people's gonna look up and take like what they got the best chance in there, and I'm no exception to that. Like first I made this White Weenie deck on my own, and like I had good success with that. I played in the normal mode, which I think is more casual. You know, people's actually building their own decks playing in that, because I don't remember seeing as many. I mean, I'm not saying they're not there, but I don't remember seeing as many internet decks there as in ranked that I started playing. Rank definitely has a ton of internet. That's all it is really when you get higher up. But started with the White Weenie deck, had good success just playing, get my daily wins, and I was like, you know what, I'll jump into rank, because you get like packs and gold depending on what your like rank is, what your placement is, like bronze, silver, platinum, gold, platinum. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I played that with my White Weenie deck I made, and I had some wins and losses, like even early on playing some people that had some pretty strong decks. I felt like probably was internet decks. I can't really remember. I didn't record them. Went through playing that, got to about gold, and that's when I started really struggling. That's when you coming up against a bunch of people that's really got like the optimized internet decks. So got to gold and then started spinning my tires a little bit. I had a whole bunch of wild cards. I have 8 or 7 mythic wild cards, and then also, like, when I came back, there was a ton of stuff in my inbox that let me have like packs from different sets and stuff. I guess it was different events, and they actually held on to it. I figured they'd delete that, and they might have deleted some of them, but I feel like I got a lot of stuff when I logged back on. But anyway, that, of course, as you open them, sometimes you open up wild cards and you can build cards out of those. You craft the cards that you need, that you're missing for your deck with those. So that's what I ended up doing, looking up some internet white decks and took some ideas. Like the main one they really wanted you to do, the one that's got like, I guess, the highest win rate or whatever, is using like angels and stuff, but I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want to copy it card for card, so I made some tweaks to it, and like I ended up liking what I'm running with, and I'll go over it with you here. You have 2 authority of the consoles. This makes creatures your opponents control enter tapped. Whenever a creature an opponent controls enters, you gain a life. That is a big staple in this deck, of course, because the life gain allows my other creatures to get bigger. The main stable creatures in this to get bigger, which we'll go over in a moment. Then you have 4 Healer Hawks, which is a 1/1 flyer with lifelink. That is only a 1-drop, so it's a good card. 4 Hinterland Sanctifiers. These let you, whenever you play another creature, which you'll be playing a lot of because you have a lot of 1 and 2 drops, when it enters, you gain 1 life, which will activate the abilities that I was talking about earlier of the +1/+1 for 2 of the main staple cards in this. Same thing with the Leonin Vanguard. and I'm probably saying these wrong because I'm a southern hick, I guess you would say, so I apologize. Leonin Vanguard, though. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures, this creature gets +1/+1 until end turn, and the most important part, you gain a life. So that will also activate abilities of said staple cards. Runelurker Bat, another flying lifelink, but this one's better than the Healer's Hawk because it also has the ability to descend, which when you descend, each time a permanent is put into your graveyard from anywhere is when that happens, and when you do, you get a scry, which will help you if you're getting either mana flooded or mana screwed or really need a removal card. You know, anything that lets you look through your library, try to set yourself up for success is really good value card. Then you get to the first staple of this deck, which was in my White Lifegain deck originally. It's Johnny's Prodmate. Whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, so it's a 2-drop, and every time you gain life, which as you have seen with our deck, we're set ourselves up to gain life every turn really, and multiple times a turn, so this guy can get really big really fast. Of course, when you play him, he's going to be very susceptible to removal, like the -3, -3s, black cards, the -2, -2 black cards, the destroy turn creature cards. I mean, he's susceptible to that even if he's a 20/20, and unless you have what is it, hexproof on him. We do have cards in this deck that is going to give him ward, which will make it harder, but of course they're going to have the mana to be able to burn him if they want to, or destroy him if they want to, but that's why you have 4 of them, so you can play him, and you can play multiple of them because he's not legendary. Then we get to the next staple, which is the Essence Channeler. I did not have this one in my deck because I didn't know it existed, because I didn't have any of them, so I wasn't looking at cards I could craft when I first got in here. I just kind of made a deck out of what I had, and I did have Leonin Vanguards and a Johnny Prodmates, which is what built the White Lifegain deck. That's what gave me the idea for that. I was like, I'll just do this. Turns out I think it's pretty popular, but that's kind of how my White Lifegain deck came together. I had Healer Hawks as well, but I did not have the Runelurker Bats. The Runelurker Bats are a better version of the Healer Hawks, but it's cool to have both of them in here because that means you have 8 1-drop flyers, that's 1/1s with lifelink that's going to activate these abilities of Essence Channeler and Johnny's Prodmate. And also, Essence Channeler is a superior version of a Johnny's Prodmate pretty much, but again, gives you 8 copies that give you +1/+1 on a creature. The reason the Essence Channeler is stronger than the Johnny's Prodmate, even though it's a 2/1 and that other one's a 2/2, when this creature dies, you can put all the counters on another creature. So it's really nice, like if you get him pretty built up and he ends up getting killed, like destroyed, you can move those counters over to like another 1/1 that you've been building up, or what I like to do is put them on like a flyer. If they don't have any flyer, like anything to defend flyers, like no reach or a flyer of their own, I like to put those on to either the Healer Hawk or the Runelurker Bat, so they're, you know, souped up and they're flyers and they can fly over and hit the life points directly and get a bunch of health for you each turn. Through the helpful hunters in here, I do not see them. I didn't see them in a whole bunch of internet decks, but this card's super helpful to me because one thing I was running into, I didn't have these in here originally, and one thing I was running into is I would either get mana flooded or mana screwed because this game hates me. And I mean, some of you might be going through that same thing. I just feel like sometimes it just happens. I feel like it happens way more in this game than it did in Paper Magic. Maybe I just wasn't a proper shuffler or something in Paper Magic, and like where this is totally random, it completely screws you when you really need to draw mana. Like, I don't need much for this deck to work. I need 3, and most of the time I can get 2 and the third one won't come. Or sometimes, you know, like and of course I think it's really stupid to do this. I didn't mulligan when I only had 1 land, and I was like, I'll draw another land. No, I didn't. I just kept drawing other cards, and I have 1-drops, but it did not go well. I lost. But yeah, Helpful Hunter is helpful. It lets you, when you play him, and it looks kind of like my cat, so that's a plus. But when you play him, when this creature enters, you draw a card, so this will help you kind of cycle through your deck a little bit faster and hopefully draw that land you need, or draw that removal that you need, or draw one of your +1/+1s that you really need because you have a whole bunch of Lifegain on the board, but you don't have any of your +1/+1s, which I've been in a few times. Then we move on to Sheltered by Ghost, sorry. Sheltered by Ghost I did not have in here. I originally had Pacify. Pacify I had back when I played Magic. Apparently it got reprinted or something because it's still standard. But I was using Pacify, but what I found out with Pacify is that there's a whole bunch of activated and triggered abilities that cards had that was still screwing me over. So I might have removed that card from being able to attack and block, like that, like say it's a 4/4, 5/5 or whatever, but like it still had its ability, which was still super beneficial for him. So it's like I had to pay 2 mana and yeah, he couldn't block or attack, but I was still getting the business from it because of its activated and triggered abilities. So Sheltered by Ghost gets rid of that, and it gives your enchanted creature +1/+0, and gives it lifelink and ward too. So they have to pay 2 to burn said card. The only bad thing about this card, and it happens very often, is people that have enchantment destruction will target this card and not target your creature, so they don't have to pay the ward cost, and it'll destroy Sheltered by Ghost and whatever you got rid of with Sheltered by Ghost, because it says exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this aura leaves the battlefield. So they get their thing back and they can do whatever combo or whatever it is, because if you removed it, there's a good reason you removed it, and now they have it back. And if you don't have another one to get rid of it, that sucks. And I've definitely been there. Giving it +1/+0 and lifelink is amazing, because you end up getting these Ajani Pride Mates and this Essence Channelers pretty beefed up, but they don't have lifelink. And if you give them lifelink, you're getting like, if you're hitting with 10/10, that's 10 life that you're getting back, which can really, you know, just demotivate that opponent for wanting to continue the game, because they're going to have to take so much of your health away, unless they have like a combo deck, which it won't matter how high your life gets. Because I had, I want to say 148 health. And I was like, oh yeah, this is going very well. And he got Vivi out, right? And one thing I've learned about the Final Fantasy set is that Vivi's broken. I can't believe that. I don't know if you would say they're like fully broken. To me, it's broken, because this guy, like, I had 148 health, and I guess he finally got his combo or whatever to go off, which I still don't fully understand. I'm going to look more into that. But I swear he played the match by himself for 5 minutes, and I sat there for 5 minutes while he just kept playing like instances and getting them back, and like he just had all this mana. He had a bunch of tokens that he was creating off one of the cards I couldn't get rid of, and it was just bad. Like I ended up conceding after, I think he was doing like 50 damage. He got me like way below where I was at. I still had a lot of health, but like he was still comboing. It's like he had infinite mana, which I don't really understand. I thought you could only like activate it once per turn, but like I think that he had tokens that copied Vivi's ability, and he had so many of those tokens out. Like, I have to look back up to that combo. I didn't record the match, unfortunately, but I'm sure I'll run into it again. That's the first time I ran into it, and it was a platinum match, but I'm sure I'll run into it more, and hopefully I'll record it next time so I can, if I don't understand it, maybe I can post the video and you guys can break it down for me, or somebody can break it down in the comments if they know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's pretty rough. Then you have Banishing Light, which is another version of removal. It costs 1 more than Sheltered by Ghost, but Banishing Light is also good to have. I mean, I have 4 of these. Can't have any more of them, so I wanted something else that gives me removal as well. Not just for creatures either. I want removal for everything, because there's some nasty enchantments and stuff out there too that you're dealing with. But again, it's the same type of thing. They have something that destroys enchantments that's going to destroy it and bring the big bad back, and it's not going to be good for you. So altogether, that's only 6 cards of removal. Having 6 cards of removal, I don't know if that's enough in this matter, and it seems to be working decently well for me, but there's matches that just hopeless for me to win. I mean, we'll go into that in just a second. Celestial Armor, I think, is a really good card. I didn't see it in a whole bunch of the net decks. I didn't do a ton of research, just looked at a couple of them, and I was like, yeah, this seems to be working. You know, I'm gonna do this based on what cards I have. I didn't want to spend a bunch of my resources for whatever reason, because every game I hold on to them. Like, I still have 33 commons, 30 uncommons, 5 rares, and 8 mythics. So I can build other decks, even though this is the only one I'm really playing because I want to get most of my dailies and stuff done. Back to Celestial Armor. Celestial Armor is really good because it's got flash, so I can play it on the opponent's turn if I wanted to like defend like a big creature and then also keep my creature alive. Or if they use destruction of one of my big guys, like outright destroy target creature, I can put this on there that so it becomes indestructible, and then he also has X-proof, so it can't be targeted again by anything that like would bounce it or something for that turn. Unfortunately, it doesn't last into another turn. It's just that first turn that you play it, but you still have the +2/+0 and flying, which is super helpful because like most of the decks I come up against, like they might have like 1 or 2 flyers or something, but like if you have a flyer, you're pretty good shape. So if you have like your a Johnny Prodmate that gets up there to big numbers, or your Essence Channeler, and you give them flying, they have lifelink, you pretty much clean up and win the match. Linden the Steadfast Queen is another one that is off the internet. I did not have this card, didn't know about this card, didn't know it existed, saw it, and I was like, oh shit, that's perfect for what I'm trying to do here. It's got vigilance, it's a 3/3. Every time that we attack with a white creature, which is just a mono white deck, so all of them's white creatures, and we can have a lot of them. We swing them all and get +1 life. Even if they're gonna die, sometimes it's a good strategy. Go ahead and swing them so you can get the life and pump up your Johnny's Prodmate and Essence Channeler. So she's a super good card. I probably don't need to run 4 of them because I keep running into situations where I have like another one that's sitting in my hand. I might need to take that down to 2. Definitely, like more experienced players, definitely please in the comments let me know what you think. Like if you think that I should take 2 of those out and put 2 of something else in, or if you think there's something else that's super good for my deck, let me know. I do know about some of the angels. I mean, definitely you can still comment and let me know, but I do know about some of the angels because, like I said, that was on the main net deck that was like had the highest win rate, and I just didn't want to copy it card for card. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe I should just copy it card for card and play the damn thing so I can get my wins and stuff. But I don't know. I didn't want it to be an angel deck. Like I want it just to be like a mono White Lifegain. I don't want it to be based just on angels, even though, or have angels in it even. This deck right now has no angels in it. And 16 planes and 4 of these rogue passages is 20 lands. It had, my White Weenie deck had more, and I kept getting mana flooded, right? I mean, you don't need many lands. I mean, look at this is your kind of layout here. You've got 18 1-drops, 14 2-drops, and 8 3-drops, and nothing else. Like, you don't need a lot of land for this. Hell, 20 might be too much. I ended up putting Rogue's Passage in here. I did not see this on any of the internet decks either. It might be on there, but I didn't see them on the ones I was looking at. Somebody else was playing this, like in a whole different deck, like on a white deck. But I kept running into situations. I want to say I was still in gold though. I kept running into situations where people was playing like decks that was generating like either artifact tokens or just like tokens, and they were blocking my huge guys. Like I had like one match I had a 22 a Johnny's Prodmate and like a 20 Essence Channeler, and like every turn I was gaining health, and like they was playing creatures because the game's generating tokens, it's coming in tap because of the authority of the consoles, and I was pumping them up really fast, but like they kept having these tokens every turn to block with, and I had no way of getting past that because I wasn't drawing my one thing. I only have 2 cards in there that gives my creatures flying. Like I should probably get some like cheaper cards that gives them flying. Like target creature gets +1/+3 and gains flying until in turn it costs 1. It's an instant. Like I should probably have some of those in there, but currently I don't. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like, should I have some of those types of cards in here that give some flying? And like I had one of these in there, kind of save its life and give it flying, but took it out because it fell. I only had one of them, and I didn't spend a card on another one. That might be something to look into though. If I need to put some that gives me flying, just you guys let me know in the comments what you think, if I need some more ways to give me flying. But I put Rogue's Passage in here so I could, because you have a lot of mana later on with this deck that you're just not using because you only use 1 or 2 and at the most 3 per turn to play whatever card you drew, and most of the time you're playing without a hand because everything's on the table because you're able to play everything. So you have a bunch of mana resources left over that you can pay the 4 and tap this, so it's 5 mana altogether if you think about it, or 5 land altogether. So you have to tap this one in addition to that, but it gives a creature unblockable, so if you make your 30 guy unblockable, that's gonna do some damage, you know? Like they could either win the game, or if they've gained some life, you know, definitely turn the game into your favor. And if they got lifelink, you're gonna get a little bit out of reach for your opponent to take down unless they have a combo, like something that's going to give them crazy damage in a very short amount of time, like the green deck that's got the Hydra or Tifa in it, or Vivi because they can infinite combo, or something like that. But this deck is really weak against very heavy removal decks, and honestly that's what I'm fighting a lot of in Platinum. It seems a lot of like white, blue, the blacks, like white, blue, black. Like I'm fighting a lot of those decks, and they have a ton of removal, and even some white, blue, black, white, blue, whatever. They have like wops, like board wops. Like I'll get all my stuff going, and boom, wop. And you know they have multiple of those. They have multiple things to get rid of your cards. It's just anti-aggro decks you're gonna lose against, and I pretty much just scoop right there and just concede, because if they wop me, and then I know they're going to have a bunch of other removal in there, like I'm just playing against nothing. I'm not going to be able to play anything because they're going to keep destroying it. And eventually, whatever their deck does, if it's rather mill, like you slowly get milled out, or if they're just waiting to like draw a big baddie that they build up all their mana because they destroyed every one of your cards for 10 turns. They have 10 mana out and they can play this huge card. Like you're boned either way. So why play it out and waste your time? I just go ahead and scoop and concede. I mean, that's a direct counter to this deck. Other decks, like this deck's been beat by the green landfall deck, but it's also beat the green landfall decks. It's been beat by mono red, like get you down fast decks, like super aggressive burn decks, kind of. Well, not even burn, like just super aggressive red creature haste decks. Sometimes I can get down to like 6/5/4 life and still turn it around and get my cards out and gaining life back, and then they kind of run out of steam because their deck's meant to reduce you to 0, and they play all their cards kind of like you play all your cards. And if I can start gaining life before they can get me all the way down, then they're pretty much boned and they end up scooping, or they'll play it out and end up losing. But yeah, this is the deck. Definitely let me know what you think about it in the comments down there. Let me know if there are things I can do to improve it. I mean, I know there are definitely things I probably do to improve it. Just let me know your thoughts, and we'll get into some matches.